Not every car is built to be beautiful. Some are sleek, some are powerful, and then there are the ones that make you do a double take. Cars so strange, so bizarre, that you wonder how they ever made it past the drawing board. Yet against all odds, these so-called ugly cars didn't just exist. They sold like crazy. What made them so popular? Was it the price, the practicality, or did people secretly love their weirdness? Today we're diving into the 5 ugliest cars that actually sold well. Cars that broke every rule of design, but still found their way into millions of driveways. Let's start with a car that was meant to be retro, but ended up looking like a cartoon. Some cars are built to turn heads, others make people turn away, and then there's the Chrysler PT Cruiser. When it first rolled onto the streets, it looked like something straight out of an old gangster movie, except without the cool factor. The design was, let's just say, unique. A high roof, big fenders, and a grille that looked like a sad, droopy smile. Critics called it ugly, weird, even embarrassing. And yet, somehow Chrysler sold over 1 million of them. How did that happen? What made it sell like crazy? One price tag that didn't hurt. The PT Cruiser wasn't just weird looking, it was cheap. Compared to most compact cars, it gave buyers more space for less money. 2 surprisingly spacious interior. Despite its small size, the tall design meant more headroom and cargo space. Families and road trippers actually loved it. 3 throwback appeal. Chrysler marketed it as a nod to classic hot rods. And guess what? A surprising number of older buyers loved the nostalgia factor. 4 customization boom. Once people got their hands on it, they went wild. Flames on the sides, fake wood panels, custom rims. The PT Cruiser became the ultimate blank canvas for car modders. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Chrysler released a turbocharged GT version. Yep, they actually tried to make a sporty PT Cruiser. It had more horsepower, but let's be real, no amount of speed could make it look cool. Love it or hate it, the PT Cruiser proved one thing: being different can pay off. But if you think this was an odd choice, wait till you see the next car on our list. It's been called a rolling mistake, yet it flew off the shelves. You ever see a car and think, what is that? That's exactly what happened when the Nissan Juke hit the roads. Some people thought it looked like a frog. Others said it was an alien spaceship. And yet, despite its bizarre styling, the Juke didn't just sell, it exploded in popularity. Nissan sold over 1 million of them worldwide. How? Well, let's break it down. What made the Nissan Juke so successful? 1, a crossover that was actually fun to drive. Most small SUVs were boring, but the Juke had turbocharged power, sharp handling, and a sporty feel. It wasn't just different, it was fast. 2, targeted the younger crowd. Nissan went all in on marketing to millennials, pushing bold colors, edgy ads, and a rebellious attitude. If you wanted a car that stood out, this was it. 3, perfect for city life. Its compact size made it easy to park, but it still had enough space to be practical. A win-win for urban drivers. Customization galore. Nissan let buyers go wild with custom paint jobs, interior colors, and styling options. If you wanted a neon green Juke with red mirrors, you could have it. But for all its quirks, the Juke had one big problem. You either loved it or hated it. There was no middle ground. Even with its solid performance and practical features, some buyers just couldn't get past the looks. Nissan eventually gave it a redesign in 2014, but, spoiler alert, they kept it weird. In the end, the Nissan Juke proved that taking risks can pay off. It was weird, but it was different enough to stand out in a world of copy-paste SUVs. And believe it or not, the next car on our list might be even stranger. Nissan Cube, the box on wheels that people actually loved. Let's be honest, the Nissan Cube doesn't look like a car. It looks like something you'd keep your snacks in. But believe it or not, this box on wheels stuck around for over 20 years, selling in Japan, the US, and other markets. So why did people actually buy this thing? Why did the Nissan Cube sell so well? 1, it was bigger on the inside. The Cube might have been small on the outside, but inside, it was shockingly spacious. The high roof and squared-off design meant tons of headroom and legroom. perfect for tall passengers. 2. It had that weird but cool vibe. While most compact cars tried to look sporty, the Cube owned its quirkiness. The asymmetrical rear window, the sofa-like seats, and the funky interior details gave it a charm that some people absolutely loved. 3. Perfect for the city. It was small enough to squeeze into tight parking spots, but roomy enough to be practical. Plus, it had great visibility thanks to its big windows, something most modern cars lack. Despite its love-it-or-hate-it design, the Nissan Cube found a loyal fan base. It lasted through multiple generations and only stopped production in 2019, proving that sometimes weird works. But if you thought this car was unusual, wait until you see the next one. Pontiac Aztek, the car that went from ugly to iconic. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but when the Pontiac Aztek hit the roads, almost everyone agreed it wasn't pretty. The design was, let's say, bold. The front looked like a squinting robot. The back seemed unfinished, and the overall shape, it was unforgettable, but not in a good way. So how did this misfit end up becoming a cult classic? Why did the Pontiac Aztek sell? 1. Function over form. Despite its odd looks, the Aztek was actually useful. It had a huge cargo space, removable seats, and even a built-in camping package with a tent attachment. It was basically a Swiss Army knife on wheels. 2. Breaking Bad effect. The Aztek wasn't just a car, it became a character. When Breaking Bad's Walter White started driving one, it suddenly had street cred. Fans of the show saw it as a symbol of transformation, struggle, and, well, Breaking Bad. Ahead of its time, believe it or not, the Aztek was one of the first crossover SUVs, years before crossovers became the most popular type of car on the market. It was just too early for its own good. At launch, the Aztek was a punchline. Today, it's a collector's item. Prices are rising, and fans now see it as an underappreciated icon. Who knew a car once called the ugliest ever made would one day be cool? Subaru Brat, the pickup that was almost illegal. A pickup truck with back seats? The Subaru Brat wasn't just unusual, it was a loophole on wheels. At first glance, it looked like a shrunken pickup, but those weird jump seats in the truck bed, they weren't just for fun, they were there to outsmart the government. Why did the Subaru Brat sell? 1. Beating the chicken tax. In the 1960s, the US placed a massive tariff on imported trucks, so Subaru bent the rules. By adding rear-facing seats, the BRAT was legally classified as a passenger car, avoiding the tax completely. Genius? Yes. Safe? Not really. The best of both worlds. It had the comfort of a car and the utility of a pickup, making it perfect for people who needed a little bit of everything. Farmers, adventurers, and even off-road enthusiasts. 3. Fuel efficiency and affordability. While full-size trucks guzzled gas, the Brat was small, cheap, and efficient. It was perfect for an era when fuel economy mattered. The Brat lasted over 15 years, selling worldwide and gaining a cult following. Today, it's a collector's item, with fans restoring and modifying them into one-of-a-kind machines. But if you ever get your hands on one, just remember, riding in the back? Not exactly legal anymore. So, what do these cars all have in common? They weren't the best-looking vehicles on the lot, but that didn't stop them from selling. Whether it was smart marketing, unique features, or even a cult following, these cars prove that success isn't just about looks. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and in the car world, it turns out ugly can still be profitable. These cars weren't just sold,